Yes! Chicken Kiev. Oh, glory hallelujah. Hey, have you ever had one of those Sunday dinners that is so good that your wife looks you in the eye and gives you that look like, we will have this again? That was tonight. Now, chicken Kiev. All it is so simple, but all it is chicken wrapped around butter, garlic, salt, and parsley. Yep, that's it. So this is my mortar and pestle. And what I got in here are 3 cloves of garlic and a couple pinches of salt. And I'm mortaling and pestling the crap out of it. Now I'm going to add some curly-leafed Italian parsley. This is not a time for flat leaf. You got to have the curly leaf. And I'm going to mortar and pestle this too, because it's going to make all 3 things, salt, garlic, and parsley, become one awesome flavor. And it's so good. This takes me back to my Air Force days. It seemed like they served this a lot at the clubs. Anyway, so once we get that all mixed together, I'm going to add my butter. And I'm going to try and mortar and pestle this out to death too. But as you can see, it's a little difficult. So what do I do? Because I am smart on occasion, not always, but on occasion, I'm going to get a bowl, put it all in there, get me a fork, mash it all together, and booyah, it's mixed. It's just magic. Hey, if you like this video so far, how about a thumbs up? It really does mean a lot. So once I get this all mixed together, like so, then I'm going to get some plastic wrap or cling film, and we're going to make a log out of this. You can see that I stretched it out, and now I'm going to roll this baby up, smoothing it, shaping it to the shape I want. And I'm going to stick this in the freezer for a few hours. It's a super important step that you cannot omit. You got to put it in the freezer. Now just squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, get the air bubbles out, and booyah, we're ready to go. So minimum 2 hours in the freezer and you're good to go. Now, after it's been like 3 hours, I unwrap it, which I can tell you right now was not the easiest thing in the world, but I got it worked out. Now I'm going to cut it basically in half because I'm making 4 chicken Kievs. So I'm going to cut it in half because these are pretty thick. I'm going to cut those halves in half. Now I have enough for each one of my Kievs. So just set this baby to the side. We're good to go. Now this is 1 pound of ground chicken. And to this, I'm going to add a few pinches of salt and pepper and flavor it up. Then I'm going to take a little spatula and I'm going to mix that all together. Now what this mixing does is, because it's like ground beef, ground chicken, it falls apart real easy. So mixing it together like this makes it turn into something that you can work with. Here's your standard breading station. Now I did wet my hands, so that's a wet hand the chicken's going in. Is just basic all-purpose flour, eggs, and then at the end down there is breadcrumbs. I use a mixture of regular traditional breadcrumbs and panko breadcrumbs. Now I'm just going to form this out into like an oval shape. Get me one of them frozen butter sticks, put in there, and the ground chicken just folds up around it. And then you're going to close it up. You can smooth it out with your hands and just make sure it's sealed up tight as a drum so that butter does not come out while we're baking. Look at this. It's like magic. It actually works. I was so impressed with myself. So now just give it a basic dredge in the flour. Once you get that, and the reason for the flour dredge is so the egg will stick to it. Not that you can tell by my first turnaround. I'm like, what the heck, egg? Don't prove me to be a liar. But it eventually grabbed hold, and there you go. So you want to get even the ends. And then you're going to put it in this mixture of panko and regular breadcrumbs. You can use just plain old regular breadcrumbs, or you can use all panko. It doesn't matter. I chose both. And it worked out just fine. Just make sure you have a good coating of the breadcrumbs on there. Here's what it looks like. And by the way, I wash my hands between every making so that I have a clean hand so it doesn't stick. There's 1, 3 to go. Here they go, all 4. Now I'm putting these in the freezer for a good 20 minutes just to re-chill and become one. This is what they look like afterwards. The same. So I've been heating up some oil in a pot, and I'm just going to put them in one at a time and make sure that it starts frying immediately. All this is going to do is it's going to seal the outside so that crumb coating seals tighter than a drum. This also helps prevent any leakage of butter. So once you get them all golden brown and toasty like that, we're going to put them in a 400-degree oven for 10 minutes. And look at this. 10 minutes later, dinner. Yum city. I did have one spring a leak, but I kind of knew that because I poked it. And it kind of leaked all over the pan. That's okay though. The other three were perfect. Check this out. Woo! I'm here to tell you, I just can't hardly stand it. Look at all that butter that oozed out when I cut it. Flavor, parsley. You're going to love it. Hope you make it. Have a great day.